You guys have seen all the videos I've done, pretty much all the mods to this car. Today, I want to go over essentially what all of it costs and what it kind of takes to get to this point. I'm going to take the car on a really quick drive. Haven't driven it in like 2 weeks. Hopefully y'all enjoy that compilation of people driving like idiots up here in New York. I know I made a video similar to this a little while ago, how I afford the car and all that. This one's gonna be a little different, separating the cosmetic ones from the performance ones, how much it costs, and also just take into account that I did maybe 95% of all this stuff myself. Just to recap what I pay for the car monthly, it's about $750 a month. And for the insurance for the first cycle, I went with Progressive, which was $300 a month. From there, I swapped over to Haggerty, which you obviously have to give proof of where the car's getting parked. You have a daily, and it went down to about 160-ish. All in monthly, I paid just under $900. Starting with the first mod I did, even before I got the car, were these side markers from Diode Dynamics on Amazon. They were on sale for about $160, I think $200 regular price. Stock, these are bright orange. Between that and the blue and the red caliper, there's just too many colors going on. I'm all about saving money, but I would definitely spend a little more and get these over the Alibaba ones, because a lot of those get water into them, and then the strip of LED kind of starts to fade and it starts separating and it looks horrible. For the next cosmetic mod, you can see it here. With a color like this, and really any car you want to protect the paint on, you have to go ahead and get PPF. I would highly recommend this if you're going to be getting a car that you're going to be going on the back roads with, cruising with friends that are going to be kicking up rocks and all that stuff. It won't protect from 100% of rock chips, as I've learned with this. When you wash the car, it's so much easier to clean. You can use a leaf blower and kind of just blow all the water right off the car. Along with these ceramic tints that are totally legal. They keep the car cool in the summer. All in, it was about $2,300 to get the whole car covered, including the tints. The next mod I did were these side skirts. There were a lot that I liked that were about like 300-ish bucks, and I really didn't find value in putting that much money on the side of the car where it's gonna get rock chips. And I also wanted the side skirts to match the hood, the lip, and the spoiler. The only other downside to these side skirts, which I got for like 110 bucks on eBay, is that they aren't like the best made. I probably have to take these off every spring, pull the 3M tape off the car and re-stick them, because they do kind of fall back on the back, which in a way is my fault because I didn't feel like putting a screw into the wheel well. Although I still have yet to go to the track, I went ahead and got this ZL1 add-ons tow hook. I like how it matched the calipers of the car. You don't have to be on a track to need a tow. I got this on one of the seasonal sales they run for about 120 bucks. In the same order as the tow hook, I went ahead and got these deluxe rock guards. For some reason, I thought that the side skirt would cover a decent amount of the rock chips hitting this back panel over here and the rear one, so that there's no awkward situations, or you reduce the awkward situations when people are like, hey, you put a rock chip on my car. If I were to recommend one mod, it would be these, because they're about 100 bucks, pretty easy to install, and you definitely want them if you're running really big tires in the front and the back. One tip I'll give to keep your mod list in budget is to check Marketplace and eBay a lot. If you're in a populated area, there's a chance that someone's getting rid of some parts off their car, whether they're selling it, trading it in, or maybe they even put the part on the car, they didn't like it, they took it off, and now they're selling it for a quarter off of what it really goes for. For example, I got these clear rear reflectors, which go really well with these smoke taillights. I was going to pick up some ZL1 add-on jack point pucks. The guy was getting rid of his ZL1. He said, do you want these? I said, sure, and he gave them to me for free. Now, while they're not on the car, the 1LE wheels, I did have a little mishap with them pulling into my driveway one night. Although it wasn't 100% necessary at the time, and a lot of friends were telling me not to patch the curb rash because I was eventually gonna get more. I didn't listen, and I went ahead and paid like 160 bucks to someone that went ahead and touched it up. I had just got in the car and I knew it was something that was gonna bother me, so I felt like the money was kind of worth it. And that leads us into the next purchase I made cosmetically for this, which is a warranty for the wheels and tires. Even though the curb rash was repaired really well, there was still a chunk of the tire missing, which could have led to a blowout. So one of my friends spoke to me that worked at a Chevy dealership at the time and told me about the wheel and tire package. That was like about 1,900 bucks. He was able to get it down to 1,400 for me, and I think that's for 3 years. The good thing is that you could transfer it, and it's also prorated if I ever decided I didn't want to do it anymore. Also, it covers like a lost key every year, PDR, as long as the paint isn't chipped. And I think if you pay a little more, it covers your glass as well. So currently I'm in the car warming up a little bit because it's freezing outside, but at the same time, I'll show you guys the next mod, which are these reverse and plate lights that are white. The stock ones come kind of yellow, and although it's not that important to switch them out, I live in an area where it's a little bit darker out at night. There's not a lot of street lights and all that. So when I reverse, these are a really white, bright light, making it a lot easier to see. For 50 bucks altogether, it really wasn't that bad. Continuing the lighting upgrades, I went ahead and got these door sills off the 2SS. This is a perfect example of when trying to save money goes wrong. I originally bought a set of these that were a little bit scratched up, but nothing too crazy, off of someone on eBay. I think I paid about 120 bucks, but unfortunately it didn't come with one of the ends of the harness. It was cut off, I guess, when they removed it from the car. Fortunately, I was able to find someone that wanted them and broke even on it. And I really just had to suck up the $300 price tag for the two of these to be complete and not have any more delays and mishaps. Even though not 100% necessary, I really liked how they looked at night in other cars, and this has so much more of a premium look. And now for the most expensive mod to date, we got the HRE wheels and the PS4S all-season tires. These came as you see them with TPMS, ceramic coat, center caps, and all of it was put on the car for less than 2,000 miles from the guy I bought it from. Only downside was that they were out in deep Pennsylvania, and I only have a two-door Civic as a daily, so I had to get one of my friends, Ray, to help me. We took a CRV, I paid him in food, filled up his tank, and we were able to bring him home and put him on the same day. I paid 26 for the whole thing, I believe. With the tires alone being 1,800 bucks and the rims as spec'd being about 1,400, I think it was a pretty obvious choice to go ahead and get these. The Camaro comes with a monster truck height, so I had to go ahead and get some H&R lowering springs that were compatible with the suspension that comes on the 1LE. Luckily, I found some from some guy out in deeper Pennsylvania than where I got the rims, and he was willing to ship them to me for 250 bucks before I used to be able to fit like 4 fingers in there. No diddling. Went ahead and got this ZL1 add-ons wicker bill that fits right onto the 1LE spoiler. I'm saying it's more of a cosmetic mod because I don't think it adds too much to performance. I wouldn't imagine the downforce is anything crazy. That I got on sale for about 200 bucks. A little scary to put on, but with a little bit of logic and maybe watching my video I made on it, you can put it on yourself for free. We're wrapping up the cosmetic mods. I got the ZL1 door cards and knee pads with the red stitching on them. And just like the door sill, I preferred these a lot more for their texture over the hard plastic that come with them. Got those for 150 bucks from someone on Marketplace, as well as getting these red seatbelts off of someone on eBay for 200 bucks. They were only the front two. I took out the back two. Really, they didn't have a second pair for the back, and there's no point because no one sits in the back of my car anyways. That's gonna about do it for the Bro, you will not believe what that just was. Some 2020 Camry. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the cosmetic mods. We'll start off with the first performance / preventative mod I got, which is the Mishimoto catch can. I got this for about 180 bucks on sale. I check mine about every 3,000 to 4,000 miles to make sure it's not filling up. Went back to Marketplace and found this catback Borla S-type exhaust from a ZL1 that was all the way up in Rochester, which is about like 5 hours away. Jokingly asked my friend to go ahead and get him for me, which I guess he was fine with being underpaid. 1,800 bucks to get the exhaust and 200 for him, and I wouldn't pick these up from his house. Next, we'll go with another mod that doesn't void warranty necessarily, which is going to be the cold air intake from Cold Air Inductions. They do believe in having a hot engine bay, and putting hot air into your engine is kind of pointless, but also it looks a little bit nicer with the exception of all this tubing here, which really should be all one finish. Got this on sale for about $360. Next, I did the LT2 intake manifold. This one is not ported. I did all of the fittings, modifying it myself. I just got it off of someone that took it off their C8 on eBay for about 260 bucks. To me, it didn't make sense to upgrade the amount of air going into the engine, but still have it bottlenecked here by an 87mm stock throttle body. So I went ahead and got a 95mm from a friend from K-Tech. He left out this solar performance coupler, but all in, this costed about 300 bucks. Taking advantage of some Black Friday sales, I just wanted to have all of the performance parts on the car and ready to go for when spring came around to data log it. I got the headers themselves for about 1,100 bucks and the catted pipes for about 800. Adding on the miscellaneous items it takes to do that job, like a little extra coolant, gaskets for the manifold, spark plugs, and spark plug wires. Add about like another 300 bucks in that. Finally, the time came to tune the car. Tuning with GPI, they ask you to get a couple things like an AFR gauge, get an MPVI 2, 3, or now 4. Obviously, you have to get credits, and I was unlocking my transmission, so that was some extra money. These are the prices for all of those items. And the remote tune from GPI itself was 500 bucks additional. And although I wouldn't necessarily consider these mods, I'm just gonna throw consumables in there and give it a round estimate of a number. Having had to do my batteries, you guys saw in that recent video, that was another 300 bucks. Oil changes in there, which probably would total around to 500 bucks. Maybe another $200 worth of miscellaneous stuff that I'm probably forgetting. All in, that totals up to about $16,000 that I put into this car in mods. It really doesn't feel like that. I could have bought, honestly, another car with all this money. But hopefully that answers some people's questions on how much it takes to mod really a Camaro and get it pretty much full bolt on without E. That's the only thing I haven't done to this car. Hopefully all you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask it in the comments below. I'll link everything on this car in the description below, as long as it wasn't from Marketplace or an eBay listing that doesn't exist anymore. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.